What's up, guys? High Value Hacks back with another episode of the High Value Coaching Series. Today we're actually in the office. One of my colleagues came to me and said, hey, there's a lot of material to cover on this topic. Why not utilize the office and the whiteboard? So that's what we're going to do today. I had a few people reach out to me and say, what mindset do I really need to be in for personal growth to achieve my goals? So we're going to dive right into it. The mindset that you want to be in, which is a 10x mindset, is the growth mindset. What is it? It's accepting the idea that challenges are meant to be overcome, and each challenge gives you the opportunity to better yourself, thus giving you growth, growing your mind. Most people in modern day are living in a fixed mindset. That's where they're limiting themselves to thinking that their capabilities and circumstances are fixed and they can't grow. And growth is going to happen over time naturally, similar to a salary maybe that you have at a job. You got yourself a family, you've got kids, and you got yourself a steady job, but you'll get a raise here and there, but eventually you'll retire and you'll live off your pension. That's what we call a 2x mindset. A 2x mindset is never going to get you to accelerate to those major goals. So long as you stay in that mindset, you can't accept the fact that if I can't change things about myself by bettering myself and admitting to myself where I may be screwing up or what I need to improve on, you're never really going to get into that growth mindset. So in order to improve, you have to be open to change, which means you need to be able to admit to yourself, hey, I may not be so good in this area, but I do want it. I can't be afraid of what people think about me by diving into it. And the only way you're going to get better at something is by applying yourself, by learning, or by just jumping into it, and repetition, hard work, and eventually you'll perfect the task, okay? So, constantly challenging and developing your mind. Your mind is similar to a muscle at the gym. The more you overload it and the more you learn and the more information you feed it, it'll grow over time. So learning equals growing. Reading is statistically, and it's been proven, the best way to work your mental muscle. Reading is learning. If you want to learn a new task, learn things about business, relationships, your job, a trade, there's so much material out there that you could read to really grow your mind and become a different person. Personal growth, when you start getting into the aspect of personal growth and you start learning and applying yourself, you'll see that these people are more productive, they're less stressed because your mind is now stronger and can handle more. The more you overload your mind, the more you can handle. Because as you overload your mind and you feel tired and you feel stressed, and there's days that you pass out on the bed, you get your rest, you don't see it every day, but you can handle more and more as time goes on. Again, it's like a muscle. As you overload a muscle and it grows, it could then handle more weight. Your brain is very similar to that in that aspect. Mental overload is discomfort. You don't grow out of comfortness. So if you go to the gym and you work out your muscles and you're just kind of going at it and you're doing it easily, you're not going to grow. It's that pain that comes with the end of each set that's satisfying, because even though it's painful, it's going to lead to growth, okay? People that make $250,000 a year, if you said to yourself, I want to make $250,000 a year, right? Your mindset has to be in a $250,000 a year, right? You have to think like somebody that makes $250,000 a year. But before you can do that, you have to develop the skills of somebody that makes $250,000 a year. I know everybody makes it look easy, but I can guarantee you these people that are making six figures aren't doing it by just sitting around all day watching Netflix and scrolling through Facebook and Instagram on their phone. They're applying themselves. They've built their life and their skills to be able to get to that level of income. So if you want to get to a certain level of income, you need to get the skills to make yourself worthy of that income. You need to teach yourself, you need to grow. You can't be worth $250,000 a year if you only got the skill set of somebody that is worth $50,000 a year. That's where it comes into recognizing your own value and establishing your own worth. So if you say to yourself, I want to make $300,000 a year, you have to genuinely tell yourself you're worth $300,000 a year and believe it. That means you then need to make yourself some large goals and start investing in yourself as a plan as to how am I going to get there. But first, you have to invest time in yourself to be able to get there. Because if you don't make the time to work on yourself, you're never going to work on yourself. It's not finding time, it's making time. But it's making large goals. It's about a vision. Where do you want to be? What kind of money do you want to make? What kind of person do you want to be? Because at the end of the day, if you don't have a vision, there's nothing driving you. And if there's no motivation driving you, then you're never going to take the time and the initiative to actually get things done. That's another thing. If people don't doubt your vision and goals when you talk about them, they aren't big enough. You want to have some sort of goal where people look at you and they go, oh, wow, yeah, that's great. Okay. Because they don't really believe that it's going to happen. Okay. You're not going to get praise until you make it. The journey to your goal is going to be lonely. Nobody's going to support you on the way there. They're just going to be standing at the bottom of the ladder going, you sure you want to come down? Do you want to come down yet? Waiting for you to fall. But then once you get there and you really do make it, they're going to be the first ones to ask you to go on your yacht once you finally can afford one. It's funny, but that's the way life works, unfortunately. If anybody hasn't seen the new Super Mario movie, I highly recommend you watch it. My kids are obsessed with it, so I've seen it about 50 times. But if for you that have seen it, Mario and Luigi start up, and the beginning of the movie, they sell everything that they have to invest in a commercial and start a plumbing business. Now, every single person in their life, mother, father, brother, cousins, all doubt them. Not only do they doubt them, they joke on them for saying you don't leave a steady job to chase some crazy dream, which makes them feel bad about it. But they believe in themselves that I've got what it takes to make it. No matter how lonely it's going to be or what people say, they apply themselves and they do what need to be done. And the rest is kind of in the movie, not necessarily related to their career, but you'll see if you watch the movie, okay? So making the time to invest in yourself, not finding. There's a big difference. So people go, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to read. Okay, everyone's schedule is busy, but you're never gonna be able to invest in yourself unless you block off some sort of time. Analyze your day. Look at it, see how many hours you're spending watching Netflix, scrolling through Facebook and Instagram, and doing things that aren't contributing to your 10x purpose. If it's not 10x, it shouldn't be in your life. It's not contributing to your growth. I'm not talking about having fun sometimes, doing things for yourself, taking care of yourself, that's big, or spending time with your children. What I'm saying is, if you're spending 2 hours a day overall scrolling through Instagram just to see what people are doing that you don't even care about, you really got to reconsider where you're allocating your time. Because if you want to get to where you're going, you're going to have to make a shift. It's 2mm shifts that equal big results. So you need to start somewhere. What does that mean? 2mm shifts is small changes over time that add up to big results down the road. Now, people say, just for an example, I want to start going to the gym or I want to start reading. But when they say they want to start reading, they want to read an entire book. And this book just happens to be 1,000 pages. Where am I going to find the time to read this book? Okay, well, nobody said that you had to sit down today and read 1,000 pages, otherwise you don't accomplish anything. If you can work into your schedule 10 pages a day to start, that's a 2mm shift. If you could work into your day, or even 2 times a week, 30 minutes, just to start going to the gym, that's a 2mm shift. What'll happen is you'll start gaining momentum. So the 10 pages per day that you read will turn into 20. That'll turn into 30. The 30 minutes a day, 2 times a week, will turn into 45 minutes, 5 times a week. Because you're going to build momentum, you're going to start feeling better about yourself, and you're going to start to want to do these things, and you're going to prioritize them. It's not going to become something that you have to do. It's a difference of language. It's going to be something that you get to do. You're blessed enough to be able to do it, okay? Fear of failure, which is a huge one. People never start because they're afraid not only of failing, but they're afraid of what people are going to think about them when they start something new and their performance is poor. Well, that's a fixed mindset. Because I hate to tell you, anything you start that's new, you're going to suck at. Most likely, unless you just happen to have some natural raw talent, but don't count on that. So anytime you start something, you're not going to be good at it. But you got to be okay with it, and you got to tell yourself, I'm going to keep hitting this wall until it comes down, okay? Because you may be better than me, you may be more talented than me, you may be smarter than me, but you're not going to outwork me. I promise you, persistency and consistency beats talent every single time, okay? So, growth mindset will open up a few different things for you, as you go about it. One, you're going to learn from failure and be comfortable with it. The only way you're going to be comfortable with failure is by going through it. You're going to fail. You start something new, you start skateboarding, you've never rode a skateboard before, and say, I want to start skateboarding, but I don't want to fall. Okay, well, that's not going to happen. You're going to fall hundreds of times, but eventually you're going to be okay with falling off that skateboard, and you're going to get better with it. Why? Because after a while, you've fallen so many times, you're not afraid to fall anymore. Do you think when a toddler starts to walk, they give up when they fall so many times? They're so motivated to walk and they don't care about falling so many times. They make it work. Sometimes that simple mindset that comes from children is amazing at how it shifts out of us as we get older. Second thing is you're going to learn how to stay in your lane, which is big. Because society these days seems to always care about what everybody else is doing and what everybody else has, which shouldn't really matter. If you're in a field or you're in a profession or you're going for something and you're working towards a goal, you shouldn't be looking at what other people are doing. Unless you're learning from them, that's different. Stop comparing yourself to other people and stay in your lane, stay focused, stay on your goal, and stop worrying about what other people are saying around you. That shit will kill you. It'll kill you. There's a lot of toxic people out there. There's a lot of toxic content out there just to discourage you. People are okay with you doing good as long as you're not doing better than they are. Just remember that. Number 3, it'll give you the confidence to never give up on yourself. As you get comfortable with failure and you get some momentum going, you'll say it doesn't matter what other people are telling me or thinking or discouraging me with. I know I'm going to make it, so I'm going to keep going. And as you start to succeed, people would be like, wow, you've gotten that far already? But they won't tell you good job. Once you make it, they'll tell you good job. But on the way, and I hate to tell you, once you do make it, there's always going to be an excuse. You got lucky, you were handed it, you didn't have to work as hard as other people did, and you had a better opportunity. So just get used to that. It's always going to be that way. But if you're getting those responses from people, it means you're doing something right, okay? And about haters, David Goggins said it the best. You're never going to find a hater that's doing better than you are, or doing more than you. Because if you're doing well and you see someone's trying, you want to support them. Because maybe when they get big enough, they could teach you something. And that's great. If they get to some place and they excel past you, hey, do you mind showing me a few pointers of what I could do to make myself better? That's the difference in a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset, okay? That's where we fall into learning from others and having an open mind. It's okay that you don't know everything. People go through society having to be the best at everything. I have to have the best house. I have to have the most attractive partner. I have to have the best partner, even if they're in turmoil. They're always so fixed on knowing everything. We all have to be know-it-alls. We all have to have it figured out. That they never take the time to listen to people and learn and realize that you could learn a lot of shit from people if you just put your ego aside and listened. That's open-mindedness, okay? That's a growth mindset. A fixed mindset is going through life thinking you got it all figured out and you're better than everybody. See the difference? 5, you'll be more stress resistant. As you take on more things and you put more things on your plate because you're adding things onto your already busy schedule. You want to learn how to be a better entrepreneur. You want to learn how to invest. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel. You'll find your purpose. But as you start learning and taking on these extra tasks and working them in, you're going to get tired. You're always going to feel like you're tired eventually, because if you're not tired, you're not working hard enough. But that's okay, because when stressful things happen, you'll be the one that'll be able to deal with it, because your mind is now grown and conditioned to be able to deal with those things, rather than somebody that folds like a deck of cards when they have to move, which is considered one of the most stressful things in life, okay? But it shouldn't be all that stressful. You should be able to handle it, okay? I went through a divorce, a newborn, moving, all at the same time. And those are the top 3 stressful things, okay? So anybody can do it. It's all about where you're putting your mind to and having faith you're gonna get through it and equipping yourself with the necessary tools to get through it, all right? Don't be a volunteer victim. No one likes those. And the final thing, you learn how to embrace your challenges, which means your new challenges are looked at as opportunities to grow. I can learn something from this. I could become better than this. Right? Oh, why me? It's always me. You can sit there and point all the negative things out in life, but if that's all you're looking for, that's all you're gonna find. Rather, these new challenges can open new things up to you, because life happens for you, not to you, right? So it'll also teach you how to never give up on yourself because you're embracing it, which means now you're somewhat enjoying the process rather than going through life hating the process. And that in turn will help you get better on personal growth level, self-development, business, relationships, whatever areas of your life you feel like you need to make a big 10x stride to fix. All right, your life is like a wheel. You've got your relationships, you've got your career, you've got yourself and your self-health, you've got family. Picture it all as a wheel. And if it was all well-rounded, 10 out of 10, it would roll smoothly. Now that's no one's life is perfect. So if you're able to really establish these aspects in your life, one's at 8, one's at 4, one's at 2, one's at 3, so it's a real bumpy ride. You want to try to make your life as even rounded as possible. So if you can really think about it and say, where do I need to get better and what do I need to improve on in a growth mindset, realizing that you can make differences and you do need to make differences because nobody is ever the best at anything. You're never the best at what you're doing. There's someone always better out there. If not, there will be. It's always impossible until someone does it, right? So if you can get to that point of a growth mindset, you'll notice your life will start to excel in all areas and people will be drawn to you in a different type of energy. So that's what a growth mindset is about. We can dig a little deeper on a different video, but for now, that's all it's gonna be. I appreciate you guys for joining me for this video again. If you've got any topics you wanna bring up based off of this or anything else, drop a comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see all the coaching sessions as well as the motivational content that you can listen to each morning. It's great for the morning when I go to the gym, get my mind in the right place, or your drive to work. If not, guys, check you on the next video.